Hello everyone, what is up? If you're new to this channel, this is a lifestyle channel, so yeah, it's a lifestyle channel. It shows informative content as well. So today we're going to talk about, dun dun dun, drum roll please, my new insulin pump. Woo! So I've been keeping this I have a surprise. I got the T-Slim X2 with the Control IQ, so I'm super excited because I've been trying to go through this process for a while of getting a new insulin pump. There were difficulties with insurance. I feel like they should make it easier to get an insulin pump because you need it, rather than so difficult like they do. But anyway, that's a different story. Basically, I'm just happy that I have a new insulin pump because it took a while. So my old warranty, for those of you who don't know, usually you have a warranty on an insulin pump at maybe 4 years or 5 years or however long it is. Mine is 4 years. So the last time that I got an insulin pump was December 27th of 2016, and the warranty didn't end until, well, you guessed it, my warranty is 4 years, so December 27th of 2020. What a year. But anyway, so yeah, I got the new T-Slim pump. And I'm super excited because the insulin pump that I had the Medtronic 670G before, so this is much thinner. I mean, it's thicker with the belt clip on, but I still don't mind it. I used to use a pump case, but I really like this belt clip, so I've just been kind of using that. Yeah, I mean, this is how big it is. Honestly, it looks like it's a phone, which is why some people will mistake insulin pumps for phones. If they don't have diabetes, they'll be like, put that phone away. But yeah, I mean, it's touchscreen too. It's pretty cool. If you like go into like a random like option, if you click the T, it's just telling me I've insulin on board. If you click the T, it'll take you back to the home screen. I mean, how cool is that? That's awesome. And then also, what's new about this is before on my Medtronic 670G, I would kind of insert my insulin through like a little slot, and now you actually have to inject your insulin into like a little hole right here or something like that, because the actual part that carries the insulin is somewhere like inside there. And I forgot the technical terms. I'll have to look those up. But yeah, basically the insulin is like, there's like an insulin pocket inside, and then you inject it. You inject the insulin in, and the insulin pocket's inside, which is pretty neat because it takes up less room too. It was just like a little bit of a, I was just a little shocked when I saw it, but it's really not that complicated, which is good. And also, it took me a little while to get adjusted to the Control IQ. And I didn't bring this up in my videos before, and I don't know why, I just didn't. But I did not use my Guardian sensor on the Medtronic 670G because it gave me the sensation like it was like my skin was being ripped off. That's what it felt like, because I've heard like this complaint from a lot of people too, and I thought it was just because I had like super sensitive skin or something like that, but I felt like my skin was being ripped off when I used the Guardian sensor, so I just kind of stopped using it, and then I switched over to Dexcom actually. So the whole Dexcom thing, that, for those of you who don't know, basically the T-Slim talks to, the Dexcom talks to the T-Slim, and that part isn't different for me because I've been using the Dexcom for a while already. So when I was on the Medtronic 670G, I had already been using the Dexcom, and now the Dexcom and the T-Slim kind of now you can see your numbers from your Dexcom on your insulin pump, and also that's how the Control IQ works. It kind of like makes adjustments based on your blood sugar. So that part with the whole Dexcom is good. And the Dexcom doesn't make it feel like it's, doesn't give me problems with my skin as much anymore, except for like a few little errors with some of the Dexcoms, but, yeah, it's pretty good, as far as my skin goes, and, I could talk about it more in another video one time as well. Also, what's pretty cool about the Dexcom is that, hold on, let's see what else. what's pretty cool about the Dexcom is, well, obviously you can see your blood sugar, which is pretty cool. So if you see right now, my blood is like 129, so you could still use your phone if you're using the Dexcom on your phone. I just kind of use it because my mom likes to my mom follows me on the Dexcom Follow app, and she just too. And also, I don't always feel like pulling out my pump, so it's just kind of easier to see on my phone also. But then I like having it. But then it's also cool that you can see your blood sugars on the pump too, and it makes adjustments accordingly. That part's pretty cool. So you can see that, like the Dexcom app, this shows you your blood sugar from 3 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 12 hours ago, 24 hours ago, and 1 hour ago. So that part's pretty cool. And also, as you see right here, my pump tried to stop my insulin before because my blood sugar was on a downward trend. So the pump tried to stop the insulin because it saw that it was going below, I believe 100 the amount that it senses, or maybe that's my setting or something like that. It sensed that my blood sugar was under 100, so it tried to cut off the insulin, so that way it tried to eliminate that low, kind of, and I'll have to see if that worked. It might have worked or it might have not worked, but I decided that I was going to have a snack because I didn't eat that much for lunch, and I probably should have eaten more, but I knew that because I didn't have substantial food in my stomach that I had to eat a snack. So yeah, so that's basically what I figured out. I figured out that if you don't have enough, it's important to make sure that you have enough like protein and carbs in your body as well, because if you don't, then your blood sugar may go low. So basically, Control-IQ doesn't entirely prevent your lows. I find that if there's a time like where maybe I didn't eat lunch yet, then this is not going to be effective because there's no food in my system. So you have to make sure that you have food in your system in order for it to work, basically, if that makes sense. Because Control-IQ only works up to a certain point. And then also, I find it better at night as well. There's like a sleep schedule that you could decide to choose. And I find the sleep schedule really helpful because you can enter manually when you're going to go to sleep, but then you might forget to enter that, and then your pump won't know that you're sleeping. So it's best to have a sleep schedule. So basically, if you did want to enter it manually, it just shows the sleep mode right there. But as you see, there's a sleep schedule option. And I just kind of have my sleep schedule. I have Monday through Friday and then Saturday and Sunday. So I have the weekdays and the weekend because during the weekdays I'll have to wake up early for school, but during the weekends I'll sleep in a bit more. So that's how it usually works. And also, they have like a little activity thing, so you could tell the pump when you're going to exercise, and it will try to keep your blood sugar within a certain range, so that way you don't go low when you're exercising. And it's great. I found that it works most of the time, which is pretty cool as well, because I remember before I exercise I'd be like, oh my gosh, I feel like I have to have juice now because then my blood sugar is going to go low. But I found that I don't have to have juice now from exercising, so it's great. And I found that my blood sugar is in range more of the time than as before, where I wasn't using like a Control-IQ thing. Because oh yeah, and also with this pump, I almost forgot, very important difference, this pump you have to charge. So basically, I'll go get the cord real quick. What you have to do is, there's like this little like USB thing over here, clearly, because like that's how you charge things. But yeah, the USB port is right over here to charge your pump. This is what the cord looks like, and it's pretty long cord, which is nice because if you're like doing schoolwork or something, or like sitting around, you don't have to take off your pump. You can just leave your pump on. This is what the little plug looks like. This is what the USB looks like. You just put the USB side of the pump, and then you charge it. And if you're in the car or something, and if you have like a USB port, like I do, you could just put the USB in here. You can use it while you're driving too. Or if you're somewhere like in an airport or something, when the whole coronavirus goes away, wherever you are. You can just bring this around with you. It's pretty portable, which is nice. And the charge lasts about like 2 to 3 days. And something else that my mom brought up, which I was concerned about too, is that in case you ever lose power, it was like, oh, what do you do if you lose power? Because clearly you need electricity to charge this. Basically what I plan on doing is, if I lose power, because like people in Texas are losing power right now, so that's what like reminded me of that too, because snowstorms. Luckily I'm not in that situation, but if I were to lose power, like, you know how we have like tropical storms and stuff like that, then I would plan on charging it before that actually happens, or I would get one of those little I forget what it's called, but those little, you guys know what I'm talking about, those little chargers where you plug it in and it's like one of those, and it's like one of those things that you pre-charge, like it has the charge already in it. It's a portable charger, yeah. I plan on getting a portable charger too, in case that happens, and then I plan on putting the little USB in there, in case that happens as well. And my last option, which I hope I wouldn't have to resort to, is using injections or using one of my old insulin pumps that I have. So those are my backup plans in case I ever lose power, and which I hope doesn't happen. But overall, I really like this pump, and I will do a video in the future if you guys want. Comment down below comparing my Medtronic 670G versus the T-Slim X2 so far. So I like this pump so far. I think it's pretty cool. And I think that's all I have to say about this. I will show you guys the infusion sets and the cannulas, what those look like as well. So I'll be right back. Also, I wanted to add, in case you're using the belt clip too, I found that you have to be careful depending on what you're wearing. Sometimes my belt clip will come off and my sight almost falls off. So I've caught that a couple of times, but it's just something I had to be mindful of, because before I used to use a pump case, so I wasn't used to that. So be careful if you're wearing the belt clip that your sight doesn't fall out by accident. And also, as you see, like this, the tubing is a little bit different. Like on my old insulin pump, I didn't have to actually like screw in the tubing to the cannula, so I had to do that now as well, and it's a little bit thinner too than it was before. Okay, let's start off with the cartridge. So the cartridge has like 3 components to it, which I'm not used to, because before I just had 2, so that's something that I had to get used to, because like I mentioned, the cartridge is different. The cartridge comes with this little black thing right here, the needle portion, and the reservoir. So basically this part is new for me, so I had to slide it on the inside of the pump, and then I had to slide it on the inside of the pump, then of course fill up your insulin, and then I would have to, then this is the thing that you actually inject into the pump and stuff like that. So this is the part that actually goes into the actual pump, so I had to get used to that part. And I could show you what that looks like another time. Again, I won't be like telling people how to change their sights, because I'm not qualified to do that, but I'm not a healthcare professional, that's why. But I could show you my experience with changing my sight with the T-Slim. So that's the only part that's different for me about the reservoir, that little black thing that comes with it. I don't technically know what it's called, but yeah, I mean it's different than my other pump. This is just a little box that came with it, with the insulin pump. So right here is the accessories box, so that came with the charger and the belt clip. And, okay, so the infusion sets are smaller than my old infusion sets were before. It's like a little bit thinner too. The tubing is thinner as well. So as far as like pain goes or anything, I don't really feel a whole lot of like pain when I put my insulin sites, but it feels like a little bit lighter than my old sites I used to have before. So these are called the AutoSoft XC, and before I had the Mio, I think, or something like that as well. So when I got the insulin pump, I had to wait a while because you can't just use your insulin pump without getting a trainer. I had to wait a while to get my trainer, but not too long. That wasn't the bad part. But the part that I want to talk about is you might be thinking, oh, how do you get a trainer during the pandemic? I basically did my training over Zoom, and it was pretty cool, and it's almost like it would have been if it was in person. Like, the instructions were still clear and everything. And the ironic part is that the trainer that I had for the T7 was my trainer when I was 8, when I first got type 1 diabetes. So when I first got type 1 diabetes, my first pump was the Animus pump and Insulin. So like, what are the odds of that, really, like having the same trainer? So that was pretty cool. And yeah, this has been my experience with the T-Slim. I need to go to another video as well, but this has been my experience with the T-Slim so far. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please remember to hit that like button. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Please like, subscribe, and share the word. Thank you. I also want to include, and I think this is pretty much self-explanatory, but just in case, I want to make myself clear. If you do charge your insulin pump while you're driving, make sure to not look at your insulin pump while you're driving. And if you sense that your blood sugar is low or high, if you have to make a correction, it's best to pull over and then continue driving. You can charge your pump while you're driving, of course not looking at it. And also, I wanted to add that you can also charge your pump while you're like taking a shower or something, or like yeah, anything like that, because it gives your pump the oh yes, it takes like about a half an hour to like charge the pump. So yeah, if you're taking a shower or something, your pump should be done by the time that you're done taking a shower. And also, I charge my pump around like 30%. Like, so you see right now, my pump is at like 75%, so I'm good right now for the battery. And I'll probably have to charge it in like a day or two, but and I charged it like yesterday, so yeah, I probably have it 1 or 2 more days with this amount of charge. So I usually charge around 30%, so that way I don't like to end around like, I don't like to charge it right when it's 0%, because then like, what if you're somewhere and it's not charged? That would be the worst case scenario, like being somewhere not having enough charge. So if you are going somewhere on a long trip, I recommend like charging your pump ahead of time if you don't have a USB with you. And it's just a good idea in general to not let your pump drain like all the way down. So yeah, I usually charge it around 30%, which is pretty good, because it gives the pump so that way I'm not completely out, but at the same time, it's like, that's what I was told, at least, when it's 30%, that's when you should charge it. So I also wanted to include, wow, it's super dark now. I also wanted to include that on the insulin pump, you could get, there's lights on it, you could get reminders on when to change your site. Like, after I change my site, I'll have a reminder that will be like, okay, Sarah, you changed your site on Thursday. The next time, we're going to remind you to change your site on Sunday. And the alarm on my pump was set at 3 p.m. for the last time I changed it. It was like, okay, we're going to remind you Sunday at 3 p.m. If you haven't changed your site by then it's going to give you a reminder, basically. So like, I change my site every 3 days, so in 3 days, if I hadn't changed my site before such and such a time, then I will get a reminder. And also, if you forget to Bolus, your pump will give you, you could put a setting and your pump will give you a reminder to say, hey, Bolus, if you're at Bolus. And there's also something called quick bolus on this insulin pump. So basically, if you like press down, then you can do like the quick bolus like that way. And I would recommend like practicing that ahead of time and basically like set it to a certain number of carbs if you don't feel like going all the way in. So yeah, those are the extra settings that if you see, I also have the little kind of wake up your insulin pump if it's off, because you haven't used it for a while. You just kind of press on this button right here, and well, right now the sensor signal is lost for some reason, which happens sometimes, but if you do lose the signal, I recommend putting the pump closer to wherever it is you have your Dexcom. I've got my arm, so I'm going to put it closer to the Dexcom, like right there. But to unlock your pump, you basically want to go like, you see the 1, 2, 3 thing right there? You want to press like on the 1, 2, 3. And that's how you unlock it. And you see you have your little options button and your bolus button to bolus. You obviously go there. For options like your settings and different stuff like that, you click the options. And this kind of shows like the little charge that you have left. And this kind of shows like what Control IQ is doing. So Control IQ is kind of doing nothing right now, because I guess it likes to range my blood sugars, and I don't know. And also this other little thing kind of shows like the Bluetooth setting, I think. And yeah, see, my blood sugar is back now. And yeah, this shows the amount of insulin you have left, and this shows the direction that insulin's going, of course, like the regular Dexcom does. Yeah, and then it shows your insulin board, and then it shows a little graph, and those are pretty much all the features. Hello everyone! Well, let's try that again.